Are you crazy? Or are you just mad?
Hello. Welcome to the Mad Musicians Against Depression podcast, where we discuss the latest news, research and hot topics surrounding mental health. I'm Thomas Maher, and I'm joined in studio by my beautiful co-host, award-winning singer, songwriter and presenter, Indiraa. Hello folks, and welcome to episode number 28 of the Mad podcast. I'm Thomas Maher, and I'm here again this week on my own because, as you will know if you've been listening the last couple of weeks, Indiraa is in hospitality. Sorry, she's in rehab, but she's getting hospitality in rehab. Is it the same difference? No, it's not. So, let me tell you what happened. I saw her last Sunday, and as an update, she is doing really well. She was upbeat, she was very positive, she was chili beans. Yes, she was, and she's very much looking forward to getting out. She's almost done 3 weeks now. This coming Monday will be 3 weeks, but she might be coming out on the Saturday, which, if is the case, then she's got a week from today to put down. So I'm going to go see her tomorrow. And thank you for everybody who's sent in all the well wishes and best of luck and your prayers and offerings and sacrifices. Thank you very much. Much appreciated. I've, as usual, passed them all on. And she's very looking forward to getting back in the hot seat with me to irritate me some bit more, as if I haven't been irritated enough. So yeah, Indira's doing very well. I'm going to go see her tomorrow. Hopefully the last visit before we go to pick her up. So that should be nice. We're going to go pick her up in a Bentley. Yeah, we are. Imagine that. A Bentley. I was hoping we could pick her up in a tractor and trailer and put her in the trailer. Yeah, that would have been more fun, wouldn't it? That would be epic. So, folks, welcome to episode 28 of the Mad podcast, season 1. And it is another tale of woes and flows and UFOs. Oh, right, that one. Good, right? So, on today's episode, we have 4 amazing articles of mental health research and latest research and all that carry on and malarkey. So what have I got for you today? Okay, let me pick my laptop up and I can see. So on today's show, I have, starting off for you, and again, as will be summarised, and the articles will be included in the show notes if you want to go read them for yourself. Knock yourself out. Right. Today's first one, read by me, summarised by me, will be the 9 main types of anxiety and how to tell which one you have. Okay, the 9 types of anxiety and how to tell which one you have. Okay, that sounds good, doesn't it? Yeah. Second one is Game On for Mental Health. This is about gaming, which I love gaming. As you'll know if you've been listening into previous episodes on my show, love it. Grew up with it. It helped me through depression as an adolescent, as a kid. Really highly recommended. Read the article. Very good. Third one, reviewing the effectiveness of applied and casual games for young people's mental health. I think it's the same article, isn't it? Yeah, it is the same article. Tommy, what are you doing? So that is the second article. Sorry, I made a mistake in the print here. So it is. So it's called Game On for Mental Health, reviewing the effectiveness of applied and casual games for young people's mental health. Right, that's number 2. Number 3, you try to tell yourself, I wasn't real. What happens when people with acute psychosis meet devices in their heads? This is a pretty 2-pronged one, 3-pronged one, 4-pronged one. Yeah, have you ever got those vices in your head? Now, if you had, read this article. It's very interesting. And the 4th and not least article from me is depression contagious? In short, yes, it is. But read it full in its entirety from the link provided in the show notes. If you so desire, again, I will summarise these articles so you don't have to listen to me waffle on for ages. And we have the players out, the singers out, to diddle 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 diddle. Our off-topic UFO one this week is ex-Pentagon UFO investigator shares UFO mothership photo, and it gets immediately debunked. It's a good one, I read it, and And I've had a few people message me and saying why we can't play any more music on this show. Well, as I said a couple of weeks ago, we had a problem with Spotify. They flagged us for their algorithm, picked up for, I think it was Lady Gaga's song, wasn't it? Typically Lady Gaga, wasn't it? But they don't like us playing other people's music on the show without their permission. And it just so happened I didn't have Lady Gaga's number, so I couldn't get her permission, right? And I wasn't going to go through the loops and hoops and red tape and all this historical malarkey to get to the labels, the management, to whoever's publishers, whoever's responsible for obtaining a license so you can play your or someone else's music for free on your podcast. So they got a bit Nancy about that and they threatened to take down my podcast, which is episode 24. But, you know, hey, I'm going to play a song today to play us out. Now let's see what Spotify have got to say about that. We're not monetizing it. We're not taking any gains, financial gains from it. This is just a show out there to inform people with the latest research, mental health, and of course UFOs. And we're throwing in a little bit of music because it is Musicians Against Depression, right? Doesn't that make sense? Right, it does. So, I have my glasses on. So let's go find the first article. The sharticle. Okay, where are you? Yeah. So the first one is the 9 types of anxiety. Okay, this article from Ask Men outlines 9 main types of anxiety disorders, including generalized anxiety disorder, which is called GAD, social anxiety, panic disorder, phobias, and other like obsessive compulsive disorder and post-traumatic stress disorder. It describes key symptoms for each type, such as excessive worry in GAD, intense fear of social situations in social anxiety, and sudden panic attacks in panic disorder. To help readers identify their type, it highlights distinct triggers and behavioural patterns for each anxiety form, while advising on when to seek professional help for treatment and management. Okay, no, that's a very good one. Obviously, it's summarised, but there is, like I said, there's 9 types of anxiety there. So if you do suffer with any or more than one type of anxiety, really read this article. It's very, very informative. So just click on the link on the show notes and knock yourself out. But don't get stressed out about it, yeah? This is about anxiety now. We don't need to get more anxiety to have to do something like that. Okay, enjoy that. Okay. Next article, next one is, and let me get it right this time, okay? Game On for Mental Health. Reviewing the effectiveness of applied and casual games, and that he said casual games, for young people's mental health. Right. Here we go. This article reviews the effectiveness of applied casual video games in supporting young people's mental health. It focuses on how these games, designed to engage rather than educate, may promote positive mental health outcomes by providing coping tools, reducing anxiety, and improving mood. Evidence from studies shows mixed results on their efficacy, suggesting the need for further research to determine their impact and ideal application of mental health interventions. But I have to tell you right now from my own experience that when I was growing up, I had depression from the age of, I think, maybe 11, separation anxiety, from split up from my parents. That's when it manifested, and I actually found a cure for my depression at that time by playing games. Not by actually playing games, by actually later on thinking of playing games, imagining playing those games. Because when I went to play those games during a lunch break in school or after school, and I went in, my friend who went to school with his dad owned the barber shop in my town, Tipperary. And he'd slot machines and he'd gaming machines, arcade machines. So I used to go in there regularly, and there's one game I particularly loved. It's called Double Dragon. Really, really, I was happy with it. It was my happy space, happy place. So after maybe a year or so, when I had this depression, I didn't know what it was, didn't understand what it was, too young to know. And back then, obviously, mental health was a stigma. I'm talking about the 80s. So I had no idea even what I was suffering from. But one night, I was just in bed with the anxiety and depression, panic attacks, and I just started imagining myself playing the game, Double Dragon, in my head and play, and I was happy. It took me away from that space, that dark hole of depression and anxiety, took me to another zone, took me completely out of my reality into an altered virtual reality of being in that game and playing it. And I realised that by imagining myself playing this game, involving myself in that way, my depression was lifted. So I did that for nights and nights, for weeks and weeks and months and months. And my depression literally just went from doing that. So I can say from experience that playing games, arcade games, or whatever way they formulate this research, it does work. It's worked for me, and it seems to have worked for a lot of other people. So if you like games, arcade games, if you don't, just go try this. Read the article. It's very, 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 very worthwhile. Okay. And it's effective from my point of view, because it worked for me. Next article. What have we got? Okay, you try to tell yourself, I wasn't real. What happens when people with acute psychosis meet devices in their heads? Sometimes you want to punch the head off them, don't you? It depends on what kind of devices they are. All right. Oh, let me see. Okay, this article discusses the innovative use of avatar therapy as a treatment for individuals experiencing auditory hallucinations, a common symptom of psychosis. This therapy allows patients to create a digital avatar that represents the voice they hear, enabling them to engage in dialogue with during therapy sessions. This approach helps patients take control over their experiences, challenging negative statements from the voices and reducing distress. Recent trials involving 345 participants have shown significant improvements in both the frequency and intensity of the voices heard, as well as overall mood and well-being. The therapy was found to be more effective than standard treatments, with longer sessions yielding more sustained benefits. Notably, the Avatar extended version, which provides personalised sessions, demonstrated particularly strong results that are welcomed. Okay, the success of avatar therapy has prompted further studies, including plans to adapt it for use in other countries like Ethiopia and India. This could potentially broaden the therapy's impact globally. Okay, really good. If anyone, our listeners, if anyone you know suffers from psychosis or those voices in the head, please direct them to this article. Let them read it for themselves. Well worth it. And our final mental health article today is depression contagious? Right. This article explores whether depression and other mental health issues can be contagious. A Finnish study found a link between adolescents' mental health diagnosis and those of their peers, suggesting a potential for social transmission in mental disorders. Though it didn't establish causation, researchers debate whether social factors or unaccounted confounders like shared environments play a larger role in this pattern. Increased awareness of mental health in social networks may also drive diagnosis. Again, if you want to find out more about this and all the other articles, please click on the link in the show notes and knock yourself out. Okie dokie. They were 4 interesting articles. I mean, I've read them myself online. Very, very well worth reading. And as always, take everything with a pinch of salt. If you have got a problem, always seek the help of a professional, either a GP or a therapist or a psychotherapist, psychiatrist. Don't diagnose yourself and don't start treating yourself. Always get the help of a professional. Okay? It's very important. I don't want to be locked up because someone said, Tommy said do that. No, Tommy didn't say do nothing. This is what Tommy said. All right, here we go. So, we've got a ex-Pentagon UFO investigator shares UFO mothership photo and immediately gets debunked. Oh, Lordy. UFO whistleblower Luis Elizondo, who claims to have once been the director of the Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, ATIP, a covert Pentagon UFO investigative program, is looking quite a bit less credible these days. Is he now? Let's find out why. The latest chink in his reputation comes in the form of a photograph of a UFO that he shared during a presentation at a recent private event in Philadelphia. The high-res photo, which was leaked online, appeared to look, as Luis Elizondo put it during his presentation, like the mothership from the Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Yes. Guess what we caught in Romania in 2022, he asked the attendees at the event, then gestured to the photo. Calling it a huge mini-city floating in the sky, Luis Elizondo's claim was swiftly debunked by John Greenwald, Jr. of the Black Vault, who was able to use reverse image search on Google to determine that Elizondo's UFO mothership was nothing more than a chandelier reflecting off a window. Following the event and the subsequent debunking of his photo, Luis Elizondo tried to explain on X Twitter why he was claiming a chandelier was a UFO mothership. Here you go. This is his grovelling statement. As you all know, I am always happy to be on my own worst critic. A photo that was provided to me by a friend in government a couple of years ago was presented by me 2 days ago at our engagement in Philadelphia. Looks like we can put this one to bed, as our friends in Twitter figured solve this one. Major bravo to you. Excellent work to whoever solved this one, and a big thank you. Crowdsourcing works. Now let's see if together we can figure out the rest. As folks at the show will attest, this is precisely why I showed the first few slides at the beginning with an example of a fake UAP. We must continue to be vigilant and always go where the data leads. As you know, I will always own up to my mistakes I make. A good lesson here: just because someone in government gives me something, due diligence and scrutiny is always a good idea. Onwards and upwards. Meanwhile, the Daily Mail reports retired United States Air Force Staff Sergeant Jeremy McGowan, who has had his own experiences with UFOs, said he has witnessed him exaggerate or outright fabricate information that simply wasn't true. I've been on the receiving end where Lou has pulled out his cell phone and shown me what he described as highly classified video, McGowan told Daily Mail. For him to think I would believe he simply would carry classified info on an unsecure civilian cell phone is just insulting. And it wasn't just me. Multiple podcast hosts were shown video Lou attributed to things they were not. Elizondo recently published a book titled Imminent, Inside the Pentagon's Hunt for UFOs, about his alleged time working on the Pentagon's UFO program. In 2017, a US Department of Defense spokesperson confirmed the ATIP was real and it had been run by Luis Elizondo. However, after Elizondo began sharing some of his alleged UFO secrets, the Pentagon backtracked and claimed he had no responsibilities. Well, it's a bit late after you've already said he was, isn't it? Typical. Okay, so that's one. That's an interesting. He's got his book out called Imminent. I think the guy's quite credible. He's obviously made a mistake in that photograph. I've seen quite a few podcasts and interviews, documentaries where he's been involved in, and mainly his stuff is pretty good, and backed up with credible claims and legitimate evidence. But he got caught up with this mothership one, obviously. Yeah, but good. But like you said, he's owned up to it, and that's it. You want to obviously take it where the data and evidence leads you to, and if it leads you to something that's not real, so be it. And if it's real, even better. So, and that's the end of our UFO one, and that's the end of our show. It's very nice and politely, discreetly, short and sweet, wasn't it? Wasn't that a good one today? Now, like I promised at the beginning of the show, our listeners, some of you, have been very distraught because we haven't been playing some tunes on the show. Well, I'm going to play our show out today with this track, and it's called In a Broken Dream, originally done by, you know, you've guessed it, Rod Stewart, but covered by a band called Thunder. Until next time, more information, maybe Indiraa next week. Who knows if she gets out. But until we speak again, have a great weekend. Have a great time. Be safe, be well, be kind to each other. Enjoy.
before my eyes, paper cries, telling lies. The promises you gave from the grave of a broken heart. In the days between the hours, ivory towers, bloody flowers push their heads into the air. I don't care if I ever know. Here I go. Don't push your love too far. Your wounds won't leave a scar. Right now is where you are, in a broken dream. Did someone bow their head? Did someone break the bread? Good people are in bed before 9 o'clock. Every day I spend my time drinking wine and feeling fine, waiting here to find a sign that I can't understand. Yes, I am. Oh, don't push your love too far. Know your wounds will leave a scar. Right now is where you are, in a broken dream. Hear what I said out here. I sit here in my lonely room. Ivory towers and bloody flowers. I sit here in my lonely room.
Well, folks, on that note, that's where we're going to leave it for today. Hope you've enjoyed the show as much as we have, and we look forward to bringing you more of the latest news and hot topics surrounding mental health on our next show. Remember, new episodes of the Mad Podcast drop every Sunday at 6 p.m. Episodes are available to listen to on Spotify, Apple Music, and of course, the Musicians Against Depression website, an online toolbox that contains a wealth of information, essential reading and links relating to mental health. As always, if you or someone you know would like to join the conversation, either in studio or remotely, email us at musiciansagainstdepression@gmail.com or visit the MAD website at www.musiciansagainstdepression.uk for further info. All links, including social media, are provided in the show notes. And remember, no problem in life is insurmountable, and help is just a conversation away. Until the next time, from myself and the wonderful Indiraa,
Take care.